Everybody, I'm Stacy with Stacy's Organizing and Decorating for Life. I am here to help you organize your thoughts and decorate your perspectives. So today our topic is going to be on from pissed to blissed, from arrogance to humility, and finding the serenity in that. So if you like that that's our topic today, please hit the like and subscribe button below. But before we get started, I want to thank you all who have been faithful and loyal subscribers to this channel and who have shared these videos when they felt that they were helpful. I thank you. I have much love and appreciation for you. I also want to welcome you all, though, who are new, and I want to thank you for subscribing to this channel. And for you, too, I hope that you will find these videos helpful and that you, too, will share them so we can keep growing this algorithm and, expanding and growing ourselves and, creating a good vibe for the universe, because these videos are meant to help us heal so we can be real. All right, and lastly, please look in the disclaimer below to see what I am and what I am not and how you can contact me if you wish to. Okay? All right, thank you so much. Let's begin. From blissed to pissed, arrogance to humility, to finding serenity. So how do we do that? I myself have dealt with this. This is kind of like life on life's terms, is that we all think as human beings we're going to get to this place and we're not going to have issues anymore. But that hasn't been my experience, and I'm guessing it's probably not been most of yours either. So it's all about growth. I know for myself, I was very pissed a few weeks ago, and I've kind of made videos indicating that. So I went from being blissed to pissed. But we don't want to stay pissed, do we? We want to go from pissed to blissed again. And that's life on life's terms, like I'm talking about. So, to get started, what had happened, it was how while I was in my bliss, and this is where the arrogance come in. When I was in my bliss, I tend to not want to make decisions. I tend not to make choices. I tend to let things fall by the wayside while I'm doing what I want to do when I want to do it, And then, so that's my arrogance, is that I'm really not seeing the bigger picture. So then what happens is then we have some pain come here, and that was really heartbreaking. But then there was another one. It had a domino effect, and this went with that too. Something else happened. Then something else happened, because it rocked my foundation is what it did. It rocked the whole foundation. I had lost all trust in others. I felt like a victim. I felt like I'd been deceived. I felt like I'd been betrayed. I felt all of these feelings. The thing is though, that I don't like feeling like a victim, and I don't like having a villain. So that's why I hope that you will share these videos, because these aren't about creating victims and villains. These are about empowering yourself. So in the first week, while I was so angry, and I was so angry at all these other people, looking at the common denominator, there's these people, but the second week, I was the common denominator in all of these people. I was the center of all these problems. So I had to start looking at, what do I need to do to change that? This is when I start becoming humble, because I don't like feeling like a victim. I am not, as I tell people, long-suffering. I do not want to feel like a victim. I don't want to feel pain and hate from those bad feelings of thinking that people treat another person that way, the way I was making them out the first week. So I had to start looking at myself and looking at those illusions. There's a video on illusions in here, which are illusions and imagination, and how imagination can work in illusions and intuition, and how we can navigate through that, because these are all things in our mind. And what happens is when we feel deceived and we don't trust, we feel that a truth has been broken, that our truth has been broken, which must have been an illusion because it was our truth. So maybe we didn't listen to another person's truth, or even our own truth. The first incident had to do with me feeling guilt. So this is in the third week, as I started having to realize that in this solution, if I was going to be the solution to my problems, empower myself, that I had to forgive myself and make amends to myself, because in many of these situations, I was making amends in other places, but not to myself. The one thing that turned and dominoed this, that I was trying to make an amends and I did it the wrong way. I didn't do it face to face with another person expressing the feelings that I felt. I tried to do it through a material thing that came up and bit me in my ass later. And then it caused the domino effect of me feeling like I had lost some of the freedoms that I thought that I had, which were illusion, that I really didn't have because I didn't take care of my business. So I started the serenity prayer, how we find serenity. And you may not be a praying person, and that's okay. You can put God in front if you want or not, but it's God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. So what is it that I need to accept that I can't change? All these things that have happened, they happened. and the courage to change the things that I can. What was my part in it? What can I change? What is it that I can change? I can't change other people. They aren't the solution. The solution's in me. And the wisdom to know the difference. Because we learn how to communicate at some point in time, at least me in my addiction. And I was dealing with narcissistic abuse at one time, and I've had to learn to communicate. Because I was codependent, and in my codependence, I tend to make stuff up too. We as human beings have the capacity to do that. But in dealing with this stuff is that I was creating these illusions instead of working on myself at this time. Working on those things. I did work on myself at different times, but I preferred to be in my bliss more so. So this put me back down to the root of working on myself again, which I'm able to help others work on things too with that kind of thing, because I didn't know what it was until I knew what it was, and that's the way many of us are. As I say, things are always good until they're not, and they're always bad until they're not. And so they're all just learning experiences. I call them FGO'S, and I'll put that down in the comments below. Not everybody wants to hear that. So, at 3 weeks, everything started making sense. I had taken the actions that I needed to take. I had accepted the things that I needed to accept, and I had to work on forgiveness with those and myself for where I created these illusions and maybe didn't listen. So this comes to forgiveness, because at the bottom line of all of this is forgiveness. We don't want to stay being pissed. We want to get back to our bliss. So forgiveness is the road to that. We ask for serenity and then ask for forgiveness. We want to forgive ourselves and forgive other people, because we're all on our journey and our path. Now, there were different steps that I took to do that. It was a process. It's not something that happens like that. We'd like it to, but things don't happen like that. As they didn't build up to happen that 3 weeks. And it happened over a period of time, what happened in that 3 weeks. So I want you to take a few minutes as I share and ask you to visualize these things for yourself to help you navigate and maybe give you an idea about how you can help yourself when you get, pissed and out of your bliss. So this is what I did, and I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and take some deep breaths. Breathe in and out. Close your eyes, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And you can adjust it slower or at that pace, because I know some people can't hold their breath that long. So, okay? But keep doing that, and I'm going to offer you this meditation. I want you to think about the wee hours of the morning or night and going outside and seeing that full moon shining so bright. We just had that super moon, and its energy was so magnificent out of sight. And it was not out of sight because it kept most of us awake at night, or a lot of us awake at night. So we could feel that energy. It's been known that those moons pull the feminine energy. Some mysteries. It's looking at these things that got us to the point to where we were upset and pissed, those obstacles, those negativities, those things that we didn't see, that with that full moon they're lit up. We can't miss them. We know the feelings that we're having. So as we sit here and we know that despair that we felt, we know that the moon is faithful, and we sit there and talk to the moon and ask the moon to take these things away that no longer serve us today. We take deep breaths. We communicate with the moon like we can't communicate with anybody else, maybe. Feel your peace coming on you as you let these things go. These things that you thought you'd take to your grave that are in your soul. Insecurities. Assumptions. Distractions. Dysfunction. Let it go with the moon. What do I need to adjust? And as the sun comes up, you're on your stoop, and as the sun comes up, you see everything and how you can live life abundantly, that you don't have to stay stuck. You can come out of the muck. You see where you can change things in your life. You feel the warmth of the sun, knowing you can let go of all that grief and strife. Let it burn away, for it no longer serves you today. Find what's in your soul that's going to help you glow and help you grow, just like the sun. because it's faithful. And as each day it sets, so will you, and get the blessed and regenerated rest so that you can rise again the next day. But let go of those things at night and the darkness. We all have the darkness and we all have the light. We don't have to blame anyone else for our plight. There is guidance in these simple things. So I encourage you to let it go. As you see the moon dissipate, know that the problems, if you're willing to let them go, they can too. They don't have to be great. They can be smaller. And then we can navigate. As it's been so much used, the sun and the moon, to navigate our lives, we remember our essence and who we are, and that we're living and not just survive. Okay? So take some deep breaths and be willing to let that go. Be willing to let this meditation resonate with your soul. And when you feel that you don't have a God, when you feel like God's given up on you, know that God has not, that there's still light. There's still light. And even when there's not, there's still, you can have faith that it is going to rise and it's going to fall again. And that's part of us and our evolution. So I hope that this video has been helpful. And I hope that you will be able to share it with other people. I know sometimes people like it when I do the meditation, and I hope that this meditation has been helpful. Bottom line is, I hope that you were able to understand how we go from pissed to blissed, and then back from bliss, from blissed to pissed, and then back from pissed to bliss, because it's changing and rising and falling like the moon. So I hope that you realize your value, and that we're just all a part and parcel of this. Okay? All right. So I hope that you're able to take some time to meditate. I did like hour of contemplative meditation, no guidance, no anything, just observing my thoughts as they came, the ones that served me and the ones that didn't. Being able to own that I love within myself, that I have a wild heart. I love that I have integrity, that I suit up and show up when I say that I will. I love that in my heart that I am able to sit with other people and listen. I also don't like that I have been assuming. I also like that I have been insecure. I also don't like that I have, all of that's a blanket under angry. But, yeah, there's another thing. But anyway, I want this video to be over. Insecure, assuming, and, not trusting. So I had to learn to trust myself, and I hope that you will too. Okay? All right. I wish you much peace and love. And I look forward to connecting with you again next week. Thank you so much for your time. And remember, you can find the descriptions and emails here, but also in the description, in the box below. Okay? Thanks. Bye.